Now, ticker symbol FDVV, or the Fidelity High Dividend ETF, is one of the most slept on dividend growth ETFs across the entire market for several different reasons. This ETF, generally speaking, offers some of the best things about dividend growth ETFs and also doesn't offer some of the worst things that I generally don't like when it comes to dividend growth investing. Now, in this video, I'm going to share with you guys all the things I like about this ETF, some things I don't like as much about it, but either way, we're going to go through the entire ETF and give you a much better understanding of what this ETF is, how it works, etc. My A to Z dividend investing ebook has helped countless dividend investors get started with their journey. And my custom dividend tracker that I'm constantly using here on the channel has also helped so many investors stay on track and allow them to see their dividend income in real time. Well, today I have another treat for you guys. I'm not only going to offer you my A to Z dividend investing ebook and the custom dividend tracker, but also just for a short limited time, I'm going to be adding in my brand new weekly dividend blueprint ebook to show you how you can get started with weekly dividend ETFs and add this into your investing strategy. This offer is not going to last long, so go ahead and click the first link down below in my description, and you're going to get both ebooks and the custom dividend tracker bundle. But like I said, please act fast because this won't be around for long. Now let's get back into the video. So before anything else, let's go over the basics when it comes to FDVV. This ETF's objective is to provide investment returns that correspond before fees and expenses generally to the performance of the Fidelity High Dividend Index. The strategy of this ETF is pretty simple. Normally invests at least 80% of assets in securities included in the Fidelity High Dividend Index and in depository receipts representing securities included in the index. It may also lend securities to earn extra income for the fund. The index description is also pretty straightforward. The Fidelity High Dividend Index is designed to reflect the performance of stocks of large and mid-capitalization dividend-paying companies that are expected to continue to pay and grow their dividends over time, which is basically what most of us are looking for as dividend growth investors. Now, the reason I say this ETF is slept on when it comes to dividend growth investing is because a lot of times investors bring up names like VYM, SHD, or VIG even, DGRO and others, but really leave FDVV out of the list. I also say this ETF is slept on because it's not only had a good performance since inception, but it's even outperformed most of the other super popular dividend growth ETFs across the markets. Now looking into this ETF's dividend yield, currently it's at around a 3% dividend yield, which is much higher starting yield than most of the other dividend growth ETFs in the markets. The dividend growth rate for FDVV hasn't really been the best. It's been sort of choppy, certain times historically offering a lot of dividend growth rates and sometimes not as much. Now, this can probably be simply explained because of the top holdings in FDVV. We have names like Nvidia, Microsoft making up a large portion of this ETF's holdings. Now, this is something that's sort of controversial when it comes to FDVV. Some dividend growth investors don't necessarily want all that much exposure to names like Apple, Microsoft, and Nvidia when it comes to a dividend growth ETF. Now, my point of view is pretty simple. I like the fact that FDVV has exposure to names like Nvidia, Microsoft, and Apple, all while still having exposure to very typical dividend growth names like Altria Group, Philip Morris, Visa, and Coca-Cola. I think that's what makes this ETF extremely special is because it does offer sort of a hybrid approach all inside one simple ETF, offering exposure to some of the fastest growing, largest companies in the entire world, all while still having all the typical names inside the portfolio. Now, that being said, if you are a dividend growth investor that doesn't necessarily want that much technology breakdown inside your dividend allocation, I totally understand that. But again, for me personally, I like the fact that FDVV offers sort of a hybrid approach. Now, looking at FDVV's price performance since inception, it started trading back in 2016 at around $25 per share, currently over $54 per share, so it's grown quite nicely as far as price return goes. But remember, because FDVV does have a pretty high yield, around 3% starting, that's also grown over time, the total return for this one is over 200% now on the max time frame. So now to go through the things I love about this ETF and some things that I don't love as much about it, I have to say that I absolutely love the fact that this ETF offers sort of a hybrid approach as far as the top holdings go, offering you exposure to names like Nvidia, Microsoft, and Apple, and inside of a dividend growth ETF that still offers around 3% yield. Now, the main thing I'm not as excited about when it comes to FDVV is the fact that it doesn't really offer any insane consistent dividend growth like names like SHD have offered historically, but still, if we were to match up side to side total returns, FDVV has outperformed many other names across the markets. I say all that to say that if you are a dividend growth investor, you definitely should look a little bit deeper into this one and definitely add it to your watch list. Now, before I go, I do have a question for you guys down below. When it comes to dividend growth investing, what's your number one favorite ETF as of right now across the entire markets? If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to please drop a like on it, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks as always for stopping by, and if you are interested in investing, make sure to check out these recent videos I posted right here.